The Monaco Grand Prix is upon us and we're heading into the weekend with the first of the practice sessions. It's certainly not the easiest of tracks to navigate, so today is going to be incredibly valuable to the teams. Low's hairpin is the slowest corner of any track on the Formula One calendar. It's taken at just 48 kilometers an hour, but provides a stunning view on the first lap as the entire grid bunches up and tiptoes through the corner, hoping not to leave any carbon fibre parts behind.
This is such a tight bend that a special steering rack is used just to get around this very corner, as the cars would not normally be able to make the turn. There is the possibility of overtaking through lows, but more often than not, you'll end up damaging your car.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a brand new video on F1 2019. We're here for another video on this beautiful game, F1 2019, and we're on the track where we previously won on a McLaren. We've actually won back in 2017 on the F1 2017 career mode. We've won here in Monaco, starting from third position if I'm correct, again on Legendary AI, and winning the race after having intermediate conditions, which I used to love. But in this game, I just can't really get used to the intermediate conditions or the wet conditions, even worse. As you can see, we're just doing the track acclimatization test on the second lap here, and we actually completed successfully. So on to the tire management test. I actually really like Monaco. At first, when I was a little bit younger, I actually hated Monaco. As I grew up and learned how to drive a little bit more, probably I got used to the track, and I actually really like this track because you actually have to push your driving to the limits to get a good lap in. So the fact that you need to be on top of your level on every single lap around Monaco, that's what really makes me love this track, and it's made it one of my favorite tracks ever. Even though it doesn't provide you with very interesting racing, it still is a joy to drive in Monaco. I think that's one of the reasons that it should always be on the car, not because of the racing, but because of how exciting it is to drive around this track and be on the limit of touching the walls. And you know, it's just, I feel like it's an amazing track. Around this chicane, I don't know if I'm cutting it. I've always done that, so tell me down in the comments below if I've actually really done a bad corner cutting around this chicane. But it's just how I always drive around this track or through that section. So I don't know, tell me down in the comments below so that I can fix it probably next season because that's gonna be the weekend here in Monaco and nothing really can change. I've already recorded this. On practice, as you can see, we're doing very well. Legendary AI level really helping me out to complete the practice program test. We've been doing very well so far with Legendary AI, and we've also been a little bit more competitive. Trying to forget what happened in Spain with the unlucky incident we had with the engine and all that. Here on qualifying practice test, lost around 2/10 of the final corner after slipping a little bit and losing the back end. And that was it. We couldn't really set the purple lap. As I've already told you, qualifying pace program test is all about that first lap, because after that the ARS is just gone and you can't really do anything. On to the race program test, where you just pretty much check your pace. We did also very well. The car is getting better and better time after time. I feel like the upgrades are really working on the car, and especially on tracks like this where the car doesn't really use the power unit, which is the weakest part of the car. I think we're doing very well, and yeah, you can see I think on the aerodynamics department we are 4th, and on the chassis we might be even 3rd. We might be ahead of Ferrari, or we need to actually do one more upgrade to pass Ferrari in terms of chassis. So we're doing very well. Just ended our practice 1 with a very successful run. Practice 1 and practice 2 were done. Then we just went into practice 3, didn't really do any laps, I just participated there, and that was it. We had an overall of 973 resource points, so I had to go and do some upgrades. Which upgrades, you may ask? I couldn't really do the aero upgrade because I'm already upgrading the rear end of the car, so you can't really do 2 upgrades simultaneously on the car. And as you can see, the power unit upgrade has been installed into the car, and I was going to do the chassis upgrade, but I don't really have enough resource points, so I will wait until the end of the weekend to go on and do the chassis upgrade, because the chassis upgrade wants something like 1k resource points. It's a huge upgrade. It's actually a medium upgrade, which means it's going to have a medium effect on the car, which is quite a lot at that point, and it's probably going to move us to the top of the midfield with that upgrade. It's going to be a very, very crucial upgrade to have on the car. And as you can see, now we're on qualifying on Q1 on a set of soft tires, trying to set an easy lap. I mean, Q1 has to be easy considering our pace around here, and we're already doing very well. Across the line, it's going to be a 1:11.8, which is faster. It's very surprising to see. I wasn't really expecting myself to be first, and around the end of the session we really aren't going to be first. Only by 4/10 though from Charles Leclerc. And the unfortunate thing that I saw is that Lando Norris is out of Q2. He's not going to be on Q2. He actually was out-qualified from Nico Hülkenberg and Roman Grosjean, who actually overtook him and took him out of Q2. That's very, very surprising to see. I wasn't expecting Lando to do so bad in a track where the car was literally flying. He actually did very well in China, which is a power unit track, and we don't really have a good power unit. And here in Monaco, it just didn't really work out for him, surprisingly enough. As you can see, on Q2, I took the risk, knowing that I was quite fast around the track. I took the risk and went into a set of mediums. Trust me on that. If we actually make it, I'm now gonna do only one lap. If we actually make it, this is gonna be this is gonna save our race strategy on the race. It's literally gonna save our race if we can actually start on a set of mediums. And around the final corner, I set a 1:12.2. It's worse than my lap on Q1, obviously due to this medium tires. But at the end of the day, just about for 1/10, I risked everything about this one. And we made it. We're through to Q3 on a set of medium tires, and what I love seeing is that we are the only car who has done that. So that means most of our rivals are going to be starting on the softs, and trust me when I say they're going to be starting on the softs, that means quite a lot. And I'm going to be explaining to you why starting on the softs around Monaco is pretty much terrible. On to Q3 now. This is my first lap into Q3. I've done 3 laps, having saved the 3 sets of soft tires for Q3. I'm going to be doing 3 laps. The first lap at 1:12.1, a very bad lap indeed, putting me even behind Nico Hülkenberg. I was about to find my pace on the second lap, which was much better. As you can see, a much better exit, fastest going into the first sector. An incredible first sector by me, not losing any time at all. Around the second sector we were personal fastest, and around the final sector we're going to be setting an incredible lap, which is going to give us provisional pole, a 1:11.3. What a lap that is. But when I return to the pit stops, I'll see that Valtteri Bottas has actually got provisional pole, and with 3 seconds to go in the session, we go on a fresh set of softs to try and improve my lap by around 3 or 4/10 in order to get that pole position. So crossing the line for last, we're going to be the last driver to pass the line and set a lap. And as you can see, around the first sector, I lose quite a lot the back end there, and that's going to cost me around a 10th or so. Still, we're 2/10 only slower than Bottas, and we still got a lot of time to gain on the second sector. That second sector is going to be very crucial for our Q3 lap. And as you can see already, we're somewhere around 3/10 faster than my previous lap. And that really made me think that this could be the lap that could really give me pole position on the McLaren. Through this corner, very fast around here, and now through the S section here, we're fastest into the second sector, which means we're probably in for a pole position. Around the final sector, this time we're not going to run wide like on the previous lap, so that's going to give me an extra 10th or so. Around the final corner, it's probably going to be a 5/10 improvement or a 4/10 improvement. It's a 4/10 improvement, and if I'm correct, we've won. I was about to say we've won. We've got pole position in Monte-Carlo. What a better way to get into the race. A pole position, my first ever time going through to Q3, apart from Spain, forget Spain, my first ever time going in pole position in the McLaren, and it's also in Monaco. What a better way to start. And don't forget, we're starting on the mediums. Let's have a good race.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend downwards towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of the 19 corners at Saint-Devote. And don't expect to see much overtaking here today. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition, but Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
Okay, it's a short run to Saint-Devote, and you know what Monaco's like, so try to defend this lead.
So Saint-Devote, turn 1. Traditionally, we don't really get off to a good start around this track, so we gotta have a good start this time around, because we started from pole position. We need to stay ahead because Monaco is very hard to overtake. As you can see, my strategy I'm gonna be explaining to you very soon. If we maintain that lead, and even if we don't really maintain the lead, we're still gonna be in for a chance to win this. That's due to us starting on the medium, so that means we're gonna be pitting much later. I'm gonna be talking about the strategy later, because now it's time for the start, as we have 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's a pretty good start. Not that good actually, because Hamilton is right around my outside here, and we had the inside line, cleared him off, cut a little bit the first corner. I don't really care at the moment, because we are actually leading the Monaco Grand Prix. He's gonna have fresh tires now onto that first lap. The softs have much more grip than the mediums into lap 1, and Hamilton is going to try and go around the outside. What a move Hamilton is trying to pull off here, but unfortunately he doesn't really have a lot of space to keep it on the outside of me. But what an amazing move Hamilton went in for. That was pretty crazy there by Lewis Hamilton, trying to get the lead, and Bottas has actually missed out on second position, and he's now behind Hamilton. And we're actually leading the Grand Prix. Hamilton is gonna get the slipstream and go up around the outside, and I've still got the inside line. Don't forget that, guys. We've still got the inside line. It's not easy to overtake around Monaco, and for the time being, Hamilton couldn't actually overtake me on 3 occasions there. That was pretty cool there by Hamilton, seeing him attack me very hard. And now medium tires have gone up to temperature. They're feeling quite good, and the soft tires are gonna wear out much earlier than the mediums, and that means when all the cars are on softs gonna pit, they're gonna get into traffic with the cars that started on mediums, just like me. So that means the cars below the top 10 who started on medium tires are gonna hold up the cars who have started on softs when they pit. So that's why starting on the mediums is gonna be a huge trick around this track, and my pace is actually quite good. The Mercedes can't really push me that much. I'm actually having quite a good gap, and yeah, we're doing very well at the moment indeed. Just cruising around Monaco, trying to maintain our pace. The gap from the Mercedes is just the same. The tire wear is fine at the moment. We're having a very, very good pace. What can I say? This race has started and very well, and the pace now. Hamilton has actually gone into the pits, and let's see if what I've just said about the strategy is gonna come out as true. And as you can see, with Albon on second, Magnussen on third, and around this corner we're probably going to see some other cars who are ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Let's just wait and see. We can see 2 Toro Rossos, 2 Haas, and 1 Alfa Romeo, and 1 Racing Point car being ahead of all the top runners, including the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, and the Mercedes. And that's why this strategy right here really pays off. If I would have started on the softs, I would have been probably still first, but I would have been right behind Albon, Magnussen, all these cars, and it would really slow me down, because in Monaco you can't really overtake that easily, and that's the case around here. As you can see, laps are passing. I've even extended my stint up around lap 18. We're gonna come into the pit stops for a set of hard tires, go to the end of the race, and we're probably not even gonna lose the lead for 1 single lap. Off we go with 2.2 pit stop pretty fast here, and as you can see, Hamilton is right behind Racing Point, and he can't really overtake them. can't really overtake the Racing Point. I also saw my teammate ahead of both the Mercedes there, of one Mercedes and both the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. As you can see, we're gonna be exiting the pit stops nice and easily. Don't cross the pit exit line. We're gonna be ahead of Albon, Magnussen, Grosjean, Lucas Verber, all those cars that are currently ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So not only that, we're actually gonna be extending our gap now from Hamilton much more than it was on the first stint. So easy race at the moment here in Monaco. The strategy has paid off, qualifying has paid off to the race, starting on pole and even on the medium tires. What more could have asked for? Like, this is a dreaming race. And as you can see, Butler is yet to pit, so he's holding up all of those cars. As we said, the fastest overall third sector, so we could even go for a much fastest lap for this race. The gap from Butler is 12 seconds, so that means from Hamilton is going to be, and it even gets, the gap is getting more and more, like, it's extending slightly every single lap. And as you can see, lap 25, another fastest lap here, 1:14.3. We could actually go for much faster laps, but my first sector is just not really good. And that's how the race went. That's how we're going to end this race on a high. A fantastic race around Monaco. What can I say? I can't even believe that we're actually going to get a win. Like, I wasn't really expecting that. Believe me or not, I wasn't expecting to get a win on this season. That's why I always say on career modes, like, we won with Red on our first season on F1 2016. We won McLaren on our first season on F1 2017. Now we're going to be winning on F1 2018 again around Monaco with a McLaren. Get in, guys. That's just incredible. Incredible race. Pole position, fastest lap, and a win. Grand slam for me here in Monaco.
From McLaren today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
It's just been an amazing Grand Prix. I can't really put it into words. It's been a dominant weekend from qualifying up into even starting on the mediums was a hard task. To imagine that we were only 1/10 of not going through to Q3. It's an absolute treatment. It's an absolute threat that we actually started on the mediums and dominated this race. If we actually have started on the softs, it would have been a much different race. Probably with tire wear being bad and the strategy not really paying off. Everything could have happened. That stint on the mediums really saved my race. It's a win with Lando Norris up into 14th. Unfortunately, not both McLarens on the points. Time for some interviews now.
There today. Let's have your thoughts.
What can I say?
That race put you ahead of your old F2 teammate in the championship. How competitive are the two of you?
Well, I mean, at the moment, with the car that we have a faster car than the Toro Rosso. So, yeah.
You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win?
It really was a comfortable win. But considering I gave it my best shot around qualifying, to say the least, the downforce was just amazing on the car. Chassis is also very improved. So in a track where power unit doesn't really mean too much, we did very well.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
Don't forget that we actually started the season very badly. But as the season went on, I'm getting a lot more used to the car, and the car is also getting better.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
Spain was a mess, where we had the chance of achieving a top 5 finish. Spain was a mess. Here, everything just worked out. Everything worked out very well. From qualifying, from practice to qualifying to the race, just everything.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So that was the race. Amazing race, to say the least. What a race that was. And also, at the moment, we've just drawn with our performance, our rivalry with Lando Norris, and we could actually go on and beat him at the end of the day. Of course, we're leading. Giovinazzi he has become a very easy rival at the moment. And with those resource points that we're going to be getting, including the team goal bonus, which is 600 resource points, that's quite a lot. We have plenty of resource points to go on and spend on the chassis. Look at the reputation we have now. Look at the reputation raising like crazy. We're going to be doing this upgrade. It's going to take 3 weeks to come onto the car, The price is 1010 resource points. I know that's quite a lot. It's even like on discount by 20 resource points. So that's going to be the upgrade we're going to be having. An amazing race, a win that's going to put us 7th onto the driver standings, only 19 points behind Pierre Gasly. We're very close actually to the Red Bulls at the moment, so another win and this could change pretty much, you know. You never know what's going to happen in the future with the car getting better and better, and probably on Legendary Eye for at least half of the season, it's going to get very well. We're currently top of the midfield. Both me and the team is on 39 points. The team 6 points ahead of the Racing Point, and we're also leading the midfield. That, like, Lando needs to be a little bit more lucky, and we're going to be dominating the midfield for sure, because he was very unlucky in plenty of occasions. Like here, the qualifying really destroyed Lando. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, share this video with your friends if you have any friends that are looking for fresh new racing content. Until next video, guys, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.